Hello. I was about to say, it must be a slow day. As the fuel congestion message didn't pop up. Also, 120 days subscribed. Wow. Let's see a next reward. Was it Squall or is it Dane's outfit? I don't know. We'll find out next month. For now. Why did it? Okay. Oh, thank the gods and adult. Riel has been spending a lot of time with Mist, keeping him company and getting to know him and so forth. Not that there's much to know. I won't talk about his home or his past. Doesn't seem to have any interest or skills beyond conjuring elaborate illusions derived from memories. I have no idea how he does it either, and more importantly, I'm not even sure how we could take back the ether he stole. You may have no choice but to agree to his terms, unless you're content to carry half a soul crystal. I can hear you whispering, Mist means well, and Yuna and I are willing to help him. Why aren't you? I didn't say I wasn't willing. I'm still here, aren't I? Right then. We found no one suitable for the boy's needs here. Rather than return to Ishgard, I say we try somewhere new. It's a tail feather. When I saw him saying, let's try somewhere new, I thought he was gonna say some fuck shit like let's go to the Far East or somewhere, like every other fucking job, but it seems to be pretty relatively localized. Ain't no way that's how we're getting a Dark Knight job in Doma. It's a fun mount. It's kind of like the flying gorilla one. Life here is not easy, but it is fulfilling, all the same. That said, the hunters have no personal tales of profound tragedy to share. So, however, tell me of an outsider recently brought here from the Falcon's Nest. A prisoner, actually. A woman named Lauri. She used to atone for her crimes through hard labor, but the proctor has been zealous. Senor Biscuit. hits her constantly, and every day she bears fresh bruises. Ah, Ishgardian justice. I know it well. This woman is performing various chores for the hunters. It should not be hard to find her. Oh, let us look around. This is a place, isn't it? Insolent child, or not to speak unless spoken to. Is that clear? Fucking cut in music? Yes, my lord. Pray forgive me my impudence. Oh, it's this woman. Do not play me for a fool. Your sins are beyond forgiveness. Sir Emmerich and his noble brethren may think you worthy of mercy, but I have seen your kind before. A swift death is more than you deserve. Swift death is more than that bastard deserves. I can't imagine what she did to deserve that kind of treatment. Well... You know her? Maybe. 7 hells. She's the one that led the protest at Falcon's Nest? The one that nearly put an end to the peace conference? She poisoned you? Well, that explains a lot. Though, if you of all people can find it in your heart to forgive her, or at least forsake bloody revenge, then it's hard to look at this and call it justice. Her crimes were born of desperation and despair for the husband she lost. Perhaps if the two of them were to meet again. Don't be foolish. She knows he's dead. You'll only cause her pain. Pain is all that is left to her. Don't you see? How they cry in the dark, how they mourn their dead, what festers and spreads and corrupts them thoroughly. You've seen it. You've made it. Fine, fine, do what you will. Conjure her husband. But do not come crying to me when she curses you for your kindness. Now, I'm with Sid on this one. Like... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how smart this is. I'll not give the hunters cause to turn their bows on us either. We'll take Mist into the woods and hide. Una and I will free the girl. Rather, I will free the girl. She would know you at once and might misunderstand your intentions. You cannot risk the commotion. As for your part, no one is truly outside Helona's grace, don't you think? Confront the proctor. He can see the error of his ways. If he is a good man, then he may yet repent of his wicked ways. He refuses, and if that is his choice to make, he will have to accept the consequences of his actions. Doubly so if he can steal. Yes? You got it. So this fucking darkest shit. Concerned adventurer who objects to my treatment of a criminal. If only you knew her sins, she would have been thrown into witch drop. Just noticed a smudge on the flashish windows. The Lord Speaker in his boundless wisdom and mercy demanded that we spare the woman's life. Okay, so, just Lord Speaker of the House, is Emmerich official title. Rest assured, I will see that her ever-waking moment is filled with misery and scorn. Presume to judge me, a man of the church. I will not be cowed by your threats. The fury guide and protect me. The fury guide and protect me. The fuck is that icon? What the fuck is that icon? different type of passive mob type. Yes. Yeah, because I'm used to, like, that one. I mean, obviously it's impossible, but... Or like that one. Apparently there's, like, 6 layers. And... that one was, like, 4? So I'm like, what the fuck? There's so many fucking also aggressive mob opponents. Look, we've brought them together. We've made her whole. How she smiles, how her eyes sparkle. How beautiful is happiness. Yeah, but how devastating the loss after it disappears. Every night I dream of your face. I could have tried to stop you from going back to the front. You begged and screamed and cursed. But I didn't, because I knew you'd listen. And even if you'd forgive me for it one day, I never would. The arrow may have missed my heart. I've been dead for a long time. All of this is just waiting. That's what I'd tell you, Stace. If I could. And then you'd say, can't say stay stuck in the moment. Got to go on. Got to forgive yourself. Got to let me go. But I won't. I won't. If I do, what'll be left to remember the man you were? The soldier. The husband. I'm the only one who knows. It is my duty to hold on to that as long as I can. That's what I'd tell him if he were here. He's not. He'll never come home to me. So please, put an end to this, whatever this witchcraft is. Sokolov. Is this all you're doing? No. It's mine. Forgive me. I thought that... I only wanted to... I was wrong. I see that now. You have every right to be upset. It's all right. It is. I appreciate your kindness, even if it was misguided. You too, you know. I blamed you for a lot of things. Hated you so much because... I don't know. Because you came back. And Stace didn't, maybe. Because you weren't him. Trust me, like... I... completely get where you're coming from. Don't you worry, girl. I'd say the war's over now, but it never ends for people like you, does it? There's always something to fight with. I know what you are. I heard the stories as a child. Of the ones with neither shield nor sigil. champions of the weak and the helpless, undeterred by the law of man or God. I couldn't stop you any more than I could have stopped Stace from walking out the door that day. So, fight. Fight if that's what you want. Just don't squander the time in between. There's never enough. Right. I suppose I owe it to him to try and make the most of what I've got left too. So I will. Take care. And thank you. You know, I was kind of a bitch to her about hearing the MSQ, but like, fuck. Forgive me. In the end, I could not make her whole. So much pain, so much loss. What fills my heart and overflows. Maybe it is indeed beyond us. Maybe it is not in our nature. Still got 3 more chances, don't you? There's no need to be so bloody melodramatic. It's not out here. You should go back to Tailfeather. The words did more for her than my illusion. She is still a good person. And so are you. Pray you both remember. Fuck, dude. I would say that this looks to be in no state to continue, which means we'll be staying here for a time, taking in the fresh country air, me and my loving ones. For what it's worth, I think that woman is ready for what we do, or at least as good as anyone can be after what she's been. Just machinist indeed. Now, I kind of want to go back to my rodeo cowgirl glamour. Let me do that real quick. also have this, like, an attempt at, like, I don't know, dark cowgirl? I don't know. But rodeo. Oh, actually, God motherfucking damn. Excuse me. Oh, wait, yeah. It's Elda that I need to talk to. It's definitely. To see how we're doing then. Well, there ain't much to test yet. Things are coming along, but progress is bloody slow. One of these buggers has a flair for the irons what you and Joy showed. You'd best let them get back to it then. I have a different favor to ask of you, you know. Has been tasked with its first big job, standing guard at the Temple Knight's investiture ceremony. This ceremony is an important event, and setting the watch to, well, watch over it, is a gesture what's meant to embody the new spirit of harmony between highborn and lowborn. Lucia didn't honey her words. She said that making a mess of this duty is like to harm our reputation beyond saving. The hounds will be knocked down before they even take their first steps. Getting back to that favor, there's to be a meeting to discuss security concerns for the event. I want you sitting in on it. You see, a representative for the Temple Knights is kind of bloke what has me itching to shoot him in the teeth. Pompous bastard by the name of Muscadine. If hit there, I might just be able to keep my trigger finger under control. Thanks, Hugo. Appreciate the support. See you at the congregation. You shut it. What a professional voice actor. I was not informed. Yuna here as my advisor. Trust your advice at damn sight more than that of a certain empty-helmed, stiff-backed bud. I will not dispute your place at this meeting. In fact, I would be far less inclined to entrust this duty to a certain foul-mouthed, disrespectful commoner were she not accompanied by such an advisor. My apologies for the interruption, Sir Muscadine. I bear urgent news. Speak, then. A thief has breached the vault and stolen the sacred blade of Grunting. Grunting is a sword what's used to dull memories, so they tell me. That place is crawling with guns. Hard to imagine how someone even managed to get in there. I don't like filching. It is unthinkable. The treasury door is secured with seven different locks. Sentries stayed vigilant night and day. No one could approach without notice. The sentries claimed they were struck senseless. They later awoke to find the door to the treasury being open. Of all the valuables secreted within, only the blade was missing. By all accounts, the entire incident took place over the span of a few short minutes. This burglar obviously had a plan and was very precise in its execution. And you say Grunting was taken. The loss of such a prominent symbol right before the ceremony bodes ill for Sir Emmeric's reputation. The Lord Commander cannot afford to have his authority eroded at this delicate stage, lest Ishgard once more fall prey to infighting and insurrection. We must reclaim the blade ere its disappearance becomes common knowledge. I have not the time nor the nights to spare for this. Well, my hands might be able to help you yet. That's the best the watch has to offer, and I reckon they can keep the cops shut. Your ceremony's on our time to shine, so we've a vested interest in seeing it go forward as planned. And there's no harm in getting on Sir Emmeric's good side in America. I'll say we look into it. Do as you wish. With Yuna's assistance, mayhap even your mob of commoners will see some modicum of success. Now, if you'll excuse me. Quickly busted. I think he'd show a bit more bloody gratitude. Anyways, enough of that. Leave us all to and begin by asking some questions, I reckon. Your own idea of what happened. Ready to put on your Inquisitor robes? Good. I'm the perfect bloke for us to talk to. You and Knight took part in that raid on the vault a while back. He just so happens to be captain of the Treasury Guard. Sit to the Hoplon and see if our man's about. One second. see if Hilda's jacket was an item that could possibly be acquired. And it is. So I have a potential third flavor that I might be putting together for machinist. We'll see. Mistress Yuna and Mistress Hilda, Sir Muscadine told me to expect you. Huh. I thought he'd no time to spare. So does this mean you're to help or hinder us? Why, to help you, of course. Here, material evidence from the scene. All 7 locks on the treasury door were destroyed, and a scrap of metal was found lodged in one of the keyholes. The impact's crushed it all out of shape, but it looks like a bullet to me. A culprit's wielding some sort of firearm. A firearm, you say? Has there been yet another crime committed with one of those horrible inventions? Why, the odds I can scarcely sleep at night for worry. I suspect this is all the fault of Sir Emmerich's precious revolution. Why might you be, miss? And what did you mean by another? By the tales I've heard at high teas this past week would curl your toes. The same musket-wielding brigand now terrorizes the Western Highlands. Just when the threat of those dragon-loving heretics has finally ended, a new nightmare rises to take their place. Unless you think this is some noble lady's fancy, even the traders come to supply Crozier. Speak of shots echoing in the air near Hemlock. Dreadful. Simply dreadful. I understand that our knights must honor their oath to aid foreign nations. It must come at the cost of keeping order in Ishgard. Look at me. I've become positively flushed. I must retire to my chambers. Is she hot of hearing or something? Slap it off. He didn't so much as glance in my direction. An unfortunate habit of the more traditional highborn, I'm afraid. Such stubborn examples aside, however, our actions have taught many of our nobles the wisdom of heeding the common citizen. I've not been ignored like that in a while. Well, thank you for the bullets, Sir Knight. Good day to you. As much as I'd like to ignore her ladyship's babble, it might be worth looking into the bringer of this bandit of New York. Considering the timing and how the treasure was robbed, it's just too much of a coincidence. You've a couple of days to follow, right? Why don't you take the bullet to Stepanian and see if you can tell us where it came from? Meanwhile, I'll head out to Hemlock and look for anyone that's armed with a carbine or something similar. Come join me once you're done with the bullet. Might be as I'll need your help with the search. While I am here, I want to see if I can just nab it from the market board. Yes, it is a dungeon reward. So I don't know if it can be sold. It might No. Okay. Fuck. Maybe try it's similar, but it's not. Okay. Fuck. And such a cool jacket. It's the Hussar's jack. There's a trailer in Domino Lodge. Yeah, have some. Yes. This is certainly the remnant of the roller part of the place March. But more than that, I can't tell. They've been made right here in the back pocket, but honestly, there's little difference between lower ammunition and bullets forged in homes of the I always saw it. It doesn't need to make it possible to identify the origin of any word first. I don't like flying on motorcycles. It just feels wrong. The other ones, sure, no problem. Unless there's like an obstacle I can't was paying too much attention to the girl within the escape. Managed to put down one or two, but said you've got this. Those curs must have been set to guard the place, though they seemed wild enough to me. Found signs that someone was here, Probably that her ladyship's rigging is more than empty parlor talk. Let's get back to the brim before we compare notes that way. What if reason out here? That bullet on the tail to tell. It's too bad. Well, maybe we'll be doing more careful at least. Seems like that leaves us chasing after this mystery man. Maybe I'll head out to Hamburg again. Have another poke around. Stick to it out and keep drilling the truth. We'll be the first to know when they're ready for inspection. I'll make you proud, don't worry about that. Don't stay awake too long. We've a gift to catch. Chill here for a moment. I need to pee. Okay, I'm back. Well, if it isn't my star people, couldn't have come at a better time. Messenger just arrived. It would appear that Master Geguruju has received a response from his friends in the Sultanate. As for the details, he would deliver them to us in person. Why don't you go on ahead to his villa? I'll let Shrana along shortly. Well, if it isn't my second favorite dancer. Good news, my girl. Thanks to the highest recommendation of yours, truly. My friends at the syndicate would be more than happy to host one of your performances in Guangdong. You have our deepest gratitude, Master Genrich. Truly, generosity knows no bounds. Nothing of it. Your performance gave me a thrill I'll not soon forget, and while I love nothing more than to keep you all to my own, I'd be remiss if I didn't share my most wonderful discovery with the rest of the world. That goes for you in particular, my lovely little honor. Maybe a bit rough around the edges, but that just adds to your untamed, dare I say, feral allure. Nothing would make me happier than to go down in history as the man who introduced me to innocence. By Master Geguruju. You're making me blush. God, oh, take me. I simply can't bear the thought of that you performed on my stage for the last time. You grace me with one final farewell performance, won't you? Surely, after all I've done for you. Our apologies, Master Geguruju, but we must not keep our audience in the Sultanate waiting. After all, this is but the second stop on our journey. Journey we must see through to the end. Besides, while your words do honor, and us all great honor, I would remind you that the girl is still an apprentice. Excess praise can lead to overconfidence, overconfidence to carelessness, and carelessness to an untimely fall. Do you hear me, Rana? No matter what glowing words your admirers may heap upon you, remember that your journey as a dancer has only just begun. Keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, lest you stumble on the road to achieving your full potential. But of course, and yet it's truly inspiring to have such a devoted fan, is it not? Why, it helps me appreciate just how much I've blossomed as a dancer in such a short time. I do not mean to make light of your achievements. I ask only that you stay focused on the task at hand. Continue to hone your craft, and not let yourself get swept away by unchecked emotion. And with that, we should be taking our leave. Master Geguruju, we thank you for your patronage and hospitality. Our business in Eorzea is done. We will return to fully express our gratitude. You need not feel compelled to travel with the true people. Just that you have matters of your own that you would attend to along the way. We shall await you in Guangdong. So this is Old Dog, jewel of the desert. We're not here to see the sights. No, we must decide upon a suitable venue for our next performance. As a matter of fact, I already have an idea. I was thinking we might put on a show in Stone's Throw, a settlement outside of town said to be home to the poor and downtrodden. Aren't you sure of this, Mistress Nashmira? I agree that the arts should be enjoyed by the lowborn as well as the high, but is some glorified shantytown truly best for us to find an audience here? I would have it no other way. Now listen to me, Luna, and listen carefully. You will recall that I told you our Greek stones has the power to clear hearts and minds of worries, and lift the spirits of all who behold it. But another way, bringing joy and succor to the scorned and suffering is no less than our calling in life. In Lumpsa as well, our audience included many who were down on their luck, and yet it did not seem those troubled weighed so heavily in their hearts. Mayhaps this is a remnant of their pirate heritage, a flagon of ale in hand and a song on the lips. All their cares fade away. Uldoa is different. Here, I feel the scars of the calamity run deep, particularly among those who lack the queen needed to rebuild their lives to their satisfaction. Stone's Throw it will be. I can think of no place more in need of what we are. You there, Holt. Holt, I say. You're the dancing troupe that's come at the invitation of the Syndicate, yes? On the authority of the Brass Blades, we command you to desist at once. You're not. I've done more. It's just, Stone's Throws not safe for visitors these days, you see. A group of real rabble-rousers have been causing trouble of late. You know how it is. Protests, riots, and all the sorts of unpleasant business. Of course, their anger is targeted directly at Uldoa's upper crust. Like as not, they believe you a troupe of performers. Still, the Syndicate cannot accept the risk of its honored guests suffering an untimely injury. Or worse. We appreciate your concern, but I can assure you that it is wholly unnecessary. All members of my troupe are well trained in the art of self-defense. We are more than capable of taking care of ourselves. That's right. Besides, healing suffering and strife across the realm is precisely the reason we've come here. Whatever sort of struggle your people face, why not let us look into the matter and see if we can't resolve it? It's a gracious offer, but no. Keeping the pieces are sworn deal. One we cannot simply impose on guests. Besides, we are trained soldiers, and you are not. Safety, you should take your leave of this place at once. I was about to say, I'm the fucking warrior of light. An adventurer, and one who knows her way around Uldoa, I would say. Perhaps you are fit to investigate the matter after all. Very well then. You and your friends may carry on. Just promise that you won't go looking for trouble, eh? Mistress Nashmira, leave this to me. I'll dance up a storm for these poor folks, calm their hearts, and put an end to any riots or uprisings. I admire your spirit, and yet I cannot shake the sense that great danger does indeed lurk here. You may go, but only if Yuna accompanies you. You must promise that you will not leave her side. All right, the more the merrier, don't you agree? Let's make for Stone's Throw. I'll race you there. Get started, shall we? Our first task is to figure out just who's behind these riots. I'm gonna split up, ask around, and see what turns up. Don't tell me you're worried about that silly promise I made to Mistress Nashmira. Come now, Yuna. Clearly she worries overmuch. You saw me on the stage. Do I look like someone who can't take care of herself? Townspeople can tell us. Meet you back here when we're both done. Alright? Hey there. Hey, you there. You're friends with that Mikota girl? The one with the fancy dress? She was asking around about the rights, you know? Well, would you believe I actually saw her talking to one of the blackguards responsible for it all? Last thing I saw, he was leading her away somewhere. I'd go after her if I were you. Well, I wouldn't. Never had the nerve for that sort of thing, but I reckon you should before the poor thing comes to harm. Oh, it really saved my skin. This man told me he'd take me to the rioters' hideout. He'd let me here and then. Well, to be honest, I'm still unsure entirely what I witnessed. The strangest thing, as soon as he brought me here, his body began to sway and spin in the strangest way. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was dancing. But we can talk about that when we're back in Savor in Paris. I should probably summon the brass blades and file an official report. Meanwhile, could you return to the city and let Mistress Ashmara know I'm alright? And tell her I'm sorry for breaking my word. See, I had a feeling this would happen. Do not blame yourself, Yuna. You are not her keeper. I will deal with the girl myself when she returns. That said, I am curious. What can you tell me of this strange dance she says her would-be captors were performing? Good news, friends. Thanks to your efforts, we have apprehended the firebird. He should return to Stone's Throw for now, at least until the next rabble-rouser decides to fan the flames. Still, there is one part of the story that does not sit well with me. The girl here claims she saw her captors dancing, but those we took into custody swear to the last man they remember no such thing. Would they feel the need to lie about something so innocuous when already convicted of a far more heinous crime? It's not precisely a lie. You see, from here the tale gets even stranger. They claim to have a vague recollection of their their bodies moving, but since they had absolutely no intention of doing so. They went on to say they couldn't even remember where or why they came up with the idea to riot in the first place. On the contrary, they seemed almost relieved, just as if some evil spirit had been banished from them. Sounds like your friends have been partaking in a particularly unstable and unsavory alchemical concoction. At any rate, Brass Blades will be taking over the investigation from here. Thank you for your assistance, and please carry on with the preparations for your performance. With your blessing. I'm sorry, Mistress Nashmira. I should have stayed with Humana, like you said. Together, I'm sure we could have worked things out peacefully. In the end, I was not able to dance even a single step. Just as the creek stunts can enthrall and inspire, so can it serve us in battle. A true dancer must be prepared for both possibilities at all times. Yuna was able to display her skills as a dancer in battle today, and I suspect it is for that very reason that your would-be captors. But never mind that. Rana, you disappoint me. It is not a lack of dancing prowess that led you to your family today. No, it was the overconfidence that led you to stray from your partner's side. When true Halcyon dances, the dance is fun. It dance to stir hearts and lift spirits, not merely to show off our skills, that our admirers might shower us with empty praise. I thought you understood this, but it is clear you still have much to learn. I'm sorry, Mistress Nashmira. I promise I will not repeat my mistake. Forgive me for making use of the girl's foolishness. Though she has grown in skill, it is clear she is still a child in more ways than one. I can only hope that she will take today's lesson to heart, lest she eventually pay the price. You ask much of the girl. Being a true dancer is about more than knowing how to move one's feet. I must be tougher on Rana than anyone. This true Halcyon failed to carry out its role. I can see you are confused by my words. Do not worry. All will become evident in due time. Yes, both you and Rana will understand all too well. And with that, I must prepare for our forthcoming performance. This time I will be asking Rana to take the stage alone. She may consider it her opportunity to reflect upon her actions today and, God's willing, learn and grow from her missteps. Meanwhile, perhaps it would be best for you to return to your training. If you and Rana truly mean to bring out the best in one another, both of you will need to work harder than ever before. Farewell for now, and let us meet up again when it is time to move on. And now, I do believe it's time I did some investigating of my own. Main scenario. the Novice Network chat, so I wanted a little bit of context, but it's not important. This way. Is it? No. Wait, they were in here? I didn't. Oh. I'm an idiot. That's right by everybody. Totoro should be here any moment with our ship's captain. So we're going by sea after all. Is Merlip still lending us our pick of the Crimson Fleet? Not exactly. You are right, inasmuch as we will be traveling by sea. Regrettably, it is simply not feasible for an airship to travel such a distance without impossibly large fuel reserves, to say nothing of the inevitability of running afoul of the Empire's aerial defenses. But then it is equally infeasible to sail an Eorzean Alliance vessel halfway around the world without the Empire taking notice. Which leaves us with only one other option. Speak of the devil. Sorry to keep you waiting. May I present to you Captain Carvalane of the Kraken's Arms? Wicked axe. The Kraken's Arms? Don't tell me you made a deal with pirates. Greetings and salutations, Silence. I get from your comrade's tone that you no longer wish to proceed with our proposed arrangement. Not at all, Captain. Pray forgive my sister her outburst. She has never been one to speak her mind. She has ever been one to speak her mind. I, on the other hand, and the very soul of discretion, as many well-respected personages would attest, from the offices of the Admiral to the high houses of Ishka. But where was I? Oh yes, the Scions of the Seventh Bone do indeed still wish to employ your services. However, it is important that you are aware of certain extenuating circumstances. And intent on securing passage to the Far East, came to us, knowing us to be the proud purveyors of said region's finest spices, which you steal from God-fearing merchants out on the high seas. Whatever privateering the Kraken's Arms may or may not engage in, strictly within the limits of the law, as set forth by our indefatigable, there we go, keeper of the peace. More to the point, we are pragmatists. I see considerable risk in aiding your cause, and negligible profit. Well, I for one think the captain has a point. The 5 seas can be extremely treacherous, and many a poor, unfortunate soul has come to grief at their own waves. Why, when we were in Ishgard, I heard the tragic tale of how the heir to House Durandare vanished at sea. Even now, nearly 20 years later, the poor Count remains convinced that his son still lives and would pay a soldier's ransom for news of his whereabouts. This little bitch. Truly a tragedy of ages, and a testament to the misfortunes that may befall us should we act without due consideration. But so long as you are prepared to abide the capricious whims of fate, I am willing to oblige you this once. That said, in light of the recent rebellion, I trust you understand that I cannot deliver you to Doma itself. I can take you only as far as Kugane in Hingashi. We will require time to procure sufficient provisions and make ready for departure. I humbly suggest you do the same. Suddenly, all those hours Tataru passed cavorting and capering at the forgotten seem rather better spent, do they not? That said, I had intended to press the point more obliquely, and there was something disconcerting about the pleasure Tataru took in making Captain Arvelane's word. We should heed the captain's advice and attend to our own preparations while they ready the vessel for departure. Tataru and I will procure the necessary supplies. Alice, I should be grateful if you wish. Hold on. Taking care of the clock. I should be grateful if you would use the time to brief Urian Shea on recent developments. You may also wish to review the relevant safety procedures in the event of an emergency at sea. Not very prudent, my dear. Very well, I shall go speak. What of Yuna and Liz? I would like the two of you to return to Revenant's Toll and speak with our Doman allies. I fear we know too little of their homeland, and any information they could provide would be most welcome. When we have completed our respective tasks, we will reconvene here at the ferry docks. Agreed? Let's go. So I think we should split up. Let's ground at the House of Splendors. Take the rising steps. To hear after. Got it? They're starting to use more in-depth action text lines. What? You are for Doma? Heavens. Ooh. Hold on. I want to create our new FC member. Is not the kindness. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine you would fight for our homeland. For 25 years, we suffered under their tyranny. And when we spied an opportunity, the Emperor, dead, Arlemald in chaos. It seems the time was ripe. Beneath our Lord's banners we gathered and fought to reclaim our nation. But when Xenos arrived with the 12th Legion, it was over in an instant. Join Yukiri and Gosetsu, and the fight still fills me with such joy. Forgive my exuberance. You require information, yes? We have Minage clan have served Doma faithfully for generations. The ancestors held positions within Doma Castle. Now it is home to the Imperial Viceroy's Witch and her host of men and Magitek. To think that what once was the shining symbol of our heritage, and the seat of dear Lord Kayan, has become a den for Garlean dogs. Hey, what up, homie? I know it's homie, but truly planning to travel to Doma. I do not know what to say. Forgive me. I shall aid you to the best of my ability. Ours is a beautiful land, nestled on the eastern coast of Othard. Along the banks of the One River, our nation thrived, proud and free, until the Garlands came 25 years ago. Know who else came 25 years ago? Yeah, a little joke that I am turning 25 this month. You know, I'm... You know who else came 25 years ago? Not my mom! Oh my god. Okay, I need to lock in. The river was our lifeblood. We had to travel and to fish. But travel was soon restricted, and now the river belongs to none. There you are. Well, that person's outfit is cool. There you are. Find anything interesting? The older Delmans I spoke with tried to teach me all about Far Eastern customs and the importance of formality and politeness. I'd like to think your overseers can be just as stiff and stuffy as anyone, especially Ashgardians. Anyway, well, that was a fun mount. But you know what? They eat with sticks. It wasn't all that hard, actually. Or at least that's what I thought until they told me I was holding them wrong. And then when I spoke with the younger demons, they just rolled their eyes and told me it was all over that stupid old... sounds a lot more useful. If someone invites us for dinner, of course. I hope they do. You know what? I'm actually opting for vegetarian. Shorts might be interesting. Right. No point waiting around here, is there? We should head back to Limsa. Alvin have said to me before about something. What's that from here? Oh, wait, no, upward. someone sticking with the Magitech armor. Your return, as you learn much from our Doman friends in Ravenet's Toll. I'm eager to hear all, though that can wait until we have left port. We'll have enough time to talk on our journey to Kukane. Our spice trading friends have completed their preparations. Assuming you have completed yours, you may inform the deckhand that we are ready to depart. All set, loves? See you to the ship if so. Yes, sir.
12 be praised. Full sure was I that I had come too late.
Urianger! Tell me you haven't come all this way just to see us off.
Nay, my lady. Ere you quit these shores for eastern climes, I wished to share some words of seeming import. Look ye where the sun doth rise. See crimson embers, darkening skies. Look ye where the sun doth fall. See azure lost amidst the squall.
Well, that sounds suitably foreboding. Another one of your prophecies, I presume?
Of far eastern origin, aye. It is mine earnest hope that this ancient wisdom may serve to guide you on your journey. For what dangers lie in wait for you upon those distant shores are yet beyond my knowing.
A parting gift befitting your roundabout ways. Thank you.
I have more than words for you, my lady.
That's just sick sword.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Is it for me?
Though undeniably powerful, your ethereal blade taxeth you greatly in the wielding. Not so this rapier, which shall serve you just as well against all but the most formidable foe.
Impressive. It feels as though it's attuned to my ether.
So this is what
I shall treasure it.
Honored guests, say your farewells, for the moment of our parting draws nigh. A fair wind blows, and I mean to follow it.
It would seem our ship is set to sail. Pray give my regards to Thancred and the others, and take care.
A fine day, is it not? Fair winds and following seas. The Misery is enjoying herself.
Kind of, ironic, but sure.
Nevertheless, It would not do for you to spend the entirety of our voyage above deck. Let me show you to your quarters.
Is it supposed to do that?
Not under normal circumstances.
But why did he get the titles there?
Captain! You need it on deck! Something queer's afoot. The winds died down, the waters went still, and all of a sudden, we were dragged off course.
Dragged? By what?
Can't rightly say, sir. But some of the lads are muttering about seeing things in the water. Things that shouldn't be there.
What is wrong with you? Why are you...
Oh, for the love of... If you will excuse me a moment. Actually, might I persuade you to join me? Loath though I am to admit it, I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh. Most. Well, do you have any idea what's going on? No. As the men said, despite the absence of wind and current, Misery is somehow being pulled off course. Well, I'm gonna fire up the cerulean engines you have in the way. An excellent suggestion based on knowledge you should not have. Alas, our engines appear to be malfunctioning for reasons that escape my engineers and present. Tell me, Captain, is the names the lads? Please. Don't suppose I can convince you to attempt something more descriptive? An adjective, for example. Sea wolf superstitions and fairy tales. Oh, if you must know, the names which he is so reticent to name are the souls of deceased women sent to lose sailors. Monstrous. Yes, indeed. If it is neither the sea nor the weather which is responsible, then it is probably a predatory entity of some sort. Perhaps a siren or some such. For all we know, it could be a fellow spice trader employing magics to seize and plunder peasant vessels. Regardless, we have but one recourse: to let the current take us where it will and deal with whatever we bring there. What a thoroughly pragmatic suggestion. Oh, I am beginning to like you. Once we arrive at our
Release!
Shit.
Away with you!
with you.
you!
It's a boy.
Focus. Release! Release!
of the Kraken!
Here it comes!
That appears to be the last of them.
Word from the Misery. Repairs are complete, and we may resume our journey without further delay.
I swear, if I never hear another ghost story, it will be too soon.
Quite fun though. Not too bad.
I remember the sea, the smell of the salt, and the crash of the waves as we drew closer to Kugano. The only port open to outsiders in Hingashi, across the Ruby Sea from Othard, from Domu. All the colors of the rainbow, all the peoples of the world, all in one place. I wish you could have seen it.
Congratulations. You now stand in Kugano, prospect port at Hingashi. I gotta work the only port in this nation open to foreign to enjoy myself. In any event, Doma is our final destination. Our course of our business should be to secure passage there. It is. Captain Carvalho, I realize you pledged only to take us as far as Kugane, and I have no desire to change the terms of our agreement. I should, however, be interested to know how you would go about reaching Ophir in your position. At the risk of stating the obvious, you are in a court. Surely there is a kind and generous soul here who will aid you for the right price. You cannot be the first traveler seeking passage to come. The captain makes a good point. It is like that Ikiri and Gosetsu were forced to come here for the self-same reasons we were. They must have found a way to Ophir, assuming they are not still in the city. Ere we seek passage, mayhap we should first seek our friends. To me, making friendly inquiries is my specialty. Lest you forget, I got plenty of practice in Ishgard. Captain Carvalho, do you direct us to the nearest tavern? Desperate for a drink, Garvey. You may find one in that large building just beyond the gate. Whether your journeys have come to an end or are about to begin, the Shirakaze hostelry is an ideal place to rest, relax, and reflect. Or so they say. And with that, my dear Silence, I bid you farewell. As soon as we have replenished our supplies, we must go. Ours was ever a fast-moving business. Spice trade here? But of course. Surely, one thing I traveled halfway around the world and delivered you to your destination solely out of the kindness of my heart. Perish the thought. Thank you, Captain, and may the navigator watch over you. To a team. Sorry. I was hoping to attune to the Aetherite first, but...
By the 12. I thought Ishgard remarkable, but this... We are certainly not in Eorzea anymore.
A tavern is a tavern, Alphino, here or anywhere else. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to do what I do best.
Oh, 1,000 pardons, my lady. The signs of the seventh dawn, I presume. I hope your voyage was not too trying.
And you are?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company, at your service. On behalf of Chairman Lolorito, I bid you welcome to Kugane and invite you to take refreshments at our local offices.
Lolorito? I was aware his interests extended beyond the borders of Eorzea, but not so far as Kugane. Regardless, I am disinclined to accept the hospitality of grinning merchants, especially those who serve a master with whom we have such a difficult relationship.
My, such naked suspicion. I do hope that business with the Crystal Braves did not rob you of all faith in your fellow man. Or do you really think the chairman is plotting to drag you into another one of his grand schemes?
I beg your pardon? If you are trying to win my trust, you are failing quite spectacularly.
Oh dear, have I offended you? Once again, I must apologize. Too much time in the Far East, you see. One is compelled to talk in circles round everything here, and One finds oneself longing for the invigoratingly candid speech of the Uldan markets. Though I see now that this was neither the time nor the place to indulge said longing. Might I suggest that we continue this conversation at the company offices? Too many eyes and ears here, you understand. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to say any more.
If I may favor you with the invigorating candy you apparently crave, it would be decidedly reckless to follow a man I neither know nor trust. Give me one good reason why we should accept Lord Lolorito's invitation.
Now there's the young diplomat I was told to expect. Very well then, I shall explain. You understand that you are come to a most reclusive and secretive nation, yes? One whose borders are closed to foreign trade save at this single port. Then it should come as no surprise that a great many parties have vested interests here. Merchants like myself are a given, of course, but for every one of us, you may be certain there is also an agent of a foreign government. Many notable nations and empires have embassies here, you know, including, of course, the Garlean Empire, with whom you have such a difficult relationship.
To paraphrase, Kugani is teeming with Imperial spies, one or several of whom could now be listening to our every word.
Something to that effect, yes. Beneath this veneer of bustling trade, a war for supremacy is being waged between world powers. One might say we were standing on the front lines, just not in public.
I still have my doubts, but he may have a point. I say we accept his invitation for now.
It's amazing, right? Okay, further in. Okay. Okay. And you must be Yunus Sokolov, Slayer of gods, rider of dragons, savior of Ishgard, stealer of pens, if some of the more puzzling rumors are to be believed. Stealer of pens? What the fuck? I knew it. May I say what an honor and a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance, Mother. I just knew you and I are going to get along quite famously. Now then, without further ado, allow me to escort you to the company offices. This being your first visit to our fair city, I shall make an effort to point out various landmarks along the way. If you would be so good as to follow me. Your attention, please. You are now standing in Tenconta. Loosely translated, the name means Spire of Drifting Souls, which, as some of you may have deduced, makes reference to the Aetheryte which stands over yonder. The design is markedly different from those of Charlayan, yet I trust its function is identical. A diplomat and a scholar. The wonders never cease. Far Eastern Aetheryte technologies have a long and storied tradition. I assure you, this particular example is constructed by Onishishu, a collective of skilled craftsmen who guard their ancestral techniques with the utmost secrecy. In short, you will find it no less reliable than its Western counterparts. Attuned if you like. Seems like a good stopping point. Made it to not all the way to Delta, but at least made it to Kugane. So a good place to stop. I will be back Wednesday, but we're gonna be doing something a little different. So like I said, I want to start re-diversifying my content. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working through the Final Fantasy games in numerical order, with occasional spin-offs if I feel so inclined. Mostly to spin-offs and remakes, and also 10-2, 13-2 and Lightning Returns.